I just got off the phone with my friend who is a staff engineering manager at Tesla. And here are the things he told me that made me optimistic about product manager role. A technical product manager is definitely beneficial, and you should understand how AI works, just the high level. But not every product manager will be building LLMs at OpenAI. So do not worry about that. What you do need to focus on is how you can use AI tools that are out there on the market and the best ones that can 10x your productivity. This is what you've already heard before, not only from me. It is much better to hear it from somebody who is an engineer and who still has to do a lot of work with the customers and do product management job as his side work, not only while he manages engineering teams. Tesla has its own culture, so let's not compare it to all other companies. What you need to know is that you need to focus on AI as core understanding. So let's dive into a couple of things that you have to know today. Of course, if you're watching this video, you already know what OpenAI is, what is Anthropic, Perplexity, Gemini, and so on. These are company LLMs that you can use today. There's also not only commercial options, but open source options like DeepSeek. Another open source version is Mistral that was built by a French company. And you also have Near AI that is Web3 option. When it comes to building your own agents, it really depends on what your main goals are, but I wouldn't recommend going straight to open source version because there's much more coding involved. If you're prototyping and trying things out, go with OpenAI or Gemini, depending on your goals. So what is the difference? Well, let me tell you, if you're going there for more context and it's about 4,000 characters, you go with Gemini. Gemini Flash 1.5 is one of the best options for you today. Large language models work by multiplying arrays and matrices of numbers together. Each provider has large language models that are more expensive, slower, but more accurate. And they also have smaller versions that are cheaper, but less accurate, but faster. I recommend using the more expensive version so that it is more accurate. And even if it's slower, you're just prototyping, you're just testing things out, so you're not gonna make it too expensive for your organization. Another type of model is a reasoning model. It basically thinks before it spits out the results. It takes a little bit longer, a couple of seconds to think about it, but it's a better quality result. Now they're actually able to break problems down and think through it and give you step by step, almost like a human. New technique like chain of thought made it possible. If you give these models a lot of context and good examples, it can actually give you really good results and thinking steps, which is amazing. You should think of reasoning models as report generators. You give it a lot of context, it thinks about it and gives you high quality results. Next one, and very popular, very important steps, is how do you prompt? One of the most important skills right now that you should have is prompt engineering. Sounds shiny and very popular, but what does it actually mean? It means that when you work with LLM, your prompting requires a lot of details that are related to what it is you want to get out of LLM, and you should give it steps. So let me walk you through it. How do you usually prompt? Well, at first we all played with LLMs and asked just the general questions, kind of a zero-shot YOLO methodology, where it's a random question and you see what comes out. What was the next step? The next step is a single shot. Finally, you figured out that you can give a request and then give it at least one example to show what you mean. That's already better. Next one is few shots, where you give several examples to get a better result. One of the easiest things you can do is go to Perplexity and ask for a good prompt. Isn't that easy? You can basically ask LLM to teach you how to use LLM. As the model changes, the answers will also change. So my recommendation is not just use what you heard today, but continuously every week checking with LLM what what is the best prompt for this task and whatnot. And it will give you the structure that is working for that LLM. Now, if you're working with Perplexity and asking for a prompt that ideally works for Perplexity and try it in ChatGPT, you will not get the best results. Why? Because all LLMs are not the same and not equal. So when Perplexity updates their rules of what a structure is the best for prompting, that doesn't mean ChatGPT does the same, right? Interesting tricks. Capitalization actually adds more weight on those specific words. Another trick, if you use XML format, it actually gives you a more precise answers. It just gives LLMs better structure because this is how they were trained. ChatGPT and Claude respond better to structured prompts. For example, task, context, constraints. AI agents, we've heard a lot about them. They have different levels of autonomy. An AI used in self-driving car is not equal to an AI agent in customer support just giving you responses or steps what you need to do next. At a lower level, AI agents just make binary choices in a decision tree. In a medium level, AI agents have memory, they can call tools, and they can retry failed tasks. At a high level, AI agents can manage tasks, break them down into subtasks, and manage their task queue. And finally, when building AI agents, you should think clearly about the design and tools that you're going to use for it. What is the list of all the tools you'll need? What will each of them do? Think like an analyst. Break your problem down into clear, reusable operations. What about AI agent memory? You have probably noticed that ChatGPT keeps the memory of you and what it knows about you. So ask today ChatGPT what it knows about you, and it will give you a really good, solid description based on all the searches that you've done. Now, I would like to dive deeper into memory and observability, but you let me know if you found this video useful, interesting. Ask your questions in the comments below, and I will follow up with the next video based on your requests. If you like this video, please put thumbs up, subscribe, and follow for more.